Gentlemen, we're here today. This really is off the cuff, totally unprepared, to have a small memorial lunch, or actually quite a large memorial lunch, to Austin Hanway. Yeah. Austin has had many relationships to many of us. He's been friend and colleague to the guys down at that end. He's been dad to this fella. He's been Masonic brother to many of us. I'm a bit played out in saying nice things about Austin. I've done it 2 or 3 times. And I can only repeat the inevitable. I think, and I'm cruising back through some of the words I've written, we all know what a worthy and decent chap he was. We all know how he helped people when they were down. We all know that if you ever needed a friend indeed, he was a friend indeed. And I don't really think that's important. It was just a sheer pleasure of being the stupid dog Irishman's company, with his wit, his warmth, his bonhomie, that if you had a bad day and a couple of jugs with him, you walked away feeling better. If you had a problem and you kicked your shoes off and sat on his desk, you walk away. He hadn't solved your problem, but you just felt better. And he was a man that went through life making other people feel better. And we all miss him every day. When I drive past that sad shambles of an office block that was his office, I think of him and I miss the man. He smelt. And this is something I wrote privately. When I met my friend Austin, he smelt. I don't know where this is coming from, guys, so stand for it. When I first met my friend Austin, he smelled of sweet Athol tobacco, stale Guinness, the tweed of Old Ireland, and a stale fart. And that was my friend Austin. I'm going to close this now. I've obviously got a dining room. If any of you, the guys that worked with him for 125 years, his dear son Kieran, his mates from various public bars, restaurants, would like to stay up and say any small accolade to Austin, you're more than welcome. And I'll start at the end of the table. And a guy I don't know sitting next to Phil, would you like to say something?
Roger.
Phil. Taj, of course.
Thank you. Well, I'm not sure how to follow on with that old smell of farts. I certainly remember that one. But I think it says something that we're actually here to remember it. But, as you mentioned earlier, there are days when I think, oh, I'll give Austin a ring, he'll cheer me up. And I think the world is a sadder place without him. Yeah. And perhaps richer for having him. There's not much else I can say. There's lots of jokes and innuendos I could think of, but perhaps I wish I'd been less non-sober and worked it from there. Yeah. But anyway, to our friend Austin.
Thank you, Austin.
John, say thanks to the other table.
Yeah. Is there anybody else? No, right. Can I
hold on? No.
sorry. He's a policeman. He always thinks.
Poor old son, I can't get up. I'll get there in a minute. Austin.
Yeah.
One of the greatest after-dinner speakers I have ever known, and I've known a few. He knocked me on the head every time we used to alternate at the festive board. I'd come up with a great one, he would cap me every time. But the great thing about Austin, when my wife died 7 years ago, she was a Catholic, albeit, I think they say lapsed. He came up to me a month after and said, Alan, I hope you don't mind, I've had a mass said for her. That is the measure of the man.
Yeah, nothing.
one of the greatest guys I've ever known in my life. Gentlemen, please be upstanding. Austin. A man.
Yeah, which you are.
In the sense as far as Playgate is concerned. I spoke to Katie before I came the other day, and I said I was coming to this luncheon. And I think Austin's sincerity, Austin's friendship, his whole demeanour extended beyond the group that he was part of. The girls loved him in the most affectionate way.
I hope it's not where, because he was
And I'm a
particularly
new
keen
member,
on
I've only
white.
been involved with Playgate Lodge for 10 years, and I feel an enormous sadness. There are people I've met in my life who have been people who I admire, but have been complete arseholes. There are people who have been complete arseholes, but
Not many of us
have been inspiring. But Austin leaves a mark on my heart, which is both a great friend, always there, and great to be admired. And I wish I had
Thank you,
half
Phil.
his
Well done, Phil.
charisma, half his friendship, half his like a warmth, which I've only ever seen in Ireland, having been there for a while. Maybe you could be upstanding again for those that are not too infirm.
The gun runners would like to raise our glasses to the memory of Austin.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Have some friends.
Thank you very much.